What's up, guys? All right, so I finally sold this edge bander. I made a video before that I was trying to sell it, and somebody came and looked at it. They didn't buy it that day, but they called me today saying, hey, if you'll take this much money for it, we'll come pick it up in the morning. So I really hope they come pick it up because I'm about to disconnect it and move it to the other side of my shop next to the garage door so that it'd be easier to load. So if they don't show up, that's going to kind of suck because if I try to sell it again and a different buyer comes, I'm going to have to reconnect it to 220 power hardwired in order to demonstrate it to another buyer. But anyways, we're going to hope they show up. Let me kind of show you what this does. So this is the main power switch, and then this lights up here. What you do is you buy pre-glued cabinet edge banding. So like for 3/4 inch plywood, if you're making cabinets, you see how the edges, you can see the layers of the ply, and it just doesn't look very good. So if you're using that for shelves or something, you want it to look more like this, a clean edge. This is the side I've already done as an example. But so you buy this pre-glued edge banding, and it has glue on the back, and the way that that activates is with heat. So you can do it with a common household iron by hand manually, and then trim the edges and cut the excess off, but this machine will do all that. So you put your edge banding on here, it feeds through some of these rollers, and you can sort of see when I twist this, it will move the edge banding forward and backwards. And then if you disconnect this piece, this thing will swing out just so I can kind of show you here. But so the edge banding will come through and come out right there. And as you feed a board through here, it grabs onto this and pulls more edge banding, so as the board's going through, it's going along the entire edge of the edge banding. The way this works is you apply heat. My power's, I think it's disconnected because I have this pulled out as a safety feature, but this would apply heat, and there's a burner in here that heats up the backside of this tape and activates the glue. Then this applies rollers, which are under here, little conveyor rollers that when this is in place, it pushes the board through. As the board hits these little trigger points, it will activate the cutters and all that. So the way this works is it grabs onto this, it pulls it through. You can't see it, but inside this black piece, there's a guillotine blade that will chop that edge banding off at the end of your board. And then it goes through these little rollers, and there's little cutting wheels in here that trim the edge banding to the thickness, this way, to the thickness of your piece. And then once it gets all the way to the end, there's another guillotine blade right here that folds up and chops the end of your tape off. So again, the reason this edge bander is worth some money is it will save you a ton of time, because otherwise you have to manually cut pieces off that roll of tape to rough length to fit on your board. Then you have to apply an iron, then you have to roll that in to activate and kind of press in the glue. Then you have to trim the edges, then you have to trim the long edges. So this does all that all in one. So when your board gets rolled out the other side of the machine, it's ready to go. Anyways, let's get ready to disconnect the power on this. The first thing I'm gonna do is turn the breaker off, and then get into this junction box from where I hardwired it up to begin with and disconnect the wires. This is my dog Ranger. He likes to run around when we come outside of the shop, especially back here to the back where I can get to my breaker panel. And I don't know which one. Okay, so 220 volt. That should shut it off. We'll double check it inside. Power is off, and power is off. Let's unhook it. Okay, so this junction box is not where I unhook it. That's just a solid wire. I forgot that I hardwired it directly at the bottom of the machine. So I'm just gonna leave a little bit of a whip on here, cut it off, and then the new owner can hardwire it into his shop. And just like that, the machine is gone. I need to sweep and then kind of decide, I guess, what I'm gonna do with this space right here. Since I am selling a lot of wood online, I think I might have some sort of bench or maybe some shelves here to store wood blanks. I don't know, we'll see. It's nice to have the extra room in my shop. I didn't get it on camera because we were too busy moving it, but my brother actually came over and helped me move it. In order to fit it through this door was a little bit of a challenge, but again, we got it moved. It's over here. The buyer will be here in the morning to pick this up. We had to take this thing off to fit it through the door, and I took the front railing off, but hey, it fit fine. And now this side of my shop is an absolute mess because the cabinets are out of here because my brother picked those up and took them home. But there's just plywood and hardwood poplar for face frames, the plywood for cabinets. So now I'm kind of restocked on materials, but I need to get to work continuing to make cabinets for my brother's house. So anyways, I think that's about it. I need to get this old stack of plywood out of here. I think I talked about that before. That looks like a perfectly good sheet, but it's not. But the rest of these are all scraps that came off the CNC, and I need to get those out of here. And we're going into the weekend here as of the day I'm recording this. So I got some stuff that I could work on this weekend. So anyways, I'm going to quit rambling. Short and sweet video. Thanks for watching. Take care.